doing my 2 years of qualification, and then the 2 years after that, when I was in Cambridge, during that time, my mum got sick with cancer. And and then she passed away when at one point, after 2 years of work. So I worked in Cambridge for 5 years, including my qualification years. And then I moved to London to work in a law firm, a really large city law firm in London. And in that time, my mum had been sick when she passed away. So I think I probably worked there for a year, and then she died somewhere in there. And I at some point I decided I was very depressed by her death and not really firing on all cylinders, but just feeling really awful. So I quit, and I went to in London. So I just moved to London, and it was a great life, great career, great job. But I wasn't in the right mindset. So I gave up that job, and I went to Kenya to be with my dad, and also to travel and just settle down and deal with the grief, and which was a really good thing. So for 9 months, I didn't work.
Wow.
And I remember I was in Kenya for a while. I went to South Africa. Then I came back to England, and I stayed in my dad's flat in Hove. And I worked at, the flower stand in Hove. I didn't work there. I didn't get paid there, but I really loved flowers. I decided maybe I want to be a florist. I really like flowers. And I learned how to make hand-tied bouquets because they were becoming the thing then. So that was fun. And I also was rethinking, what am I going to do? Am I really going to stay in the law, as in a law firm? Am I going to go to teach? I thought about teaching at the law school. Just all these or charity work. Because when my mother was sick, after she died, actually, I started volunteering at Macmillan Cancer Relief as well. So that was another option. So I got into charity work for cancer. I also did these hand ties, and and then I fell back into a role at that old law firm in London, which was different. It's called a professional support lawyer, which was a new breed of lawyer who was an expert, subject matter expert in a certain area, and supported the lawyers with all the, educational side of things and the materials and keeping up to date with what was coming out. And so I did that. I think I had that job for 4 days a week, and then I did 1 day a week at Macmillan Cancer Relief. Wow. And I was back in London, living in London, renting a place on my own. Yeah.
Do you think before your mother passed away, did you have any of these kind of ideas?
No, I didn't know what I was. I thought the London job was like wonderful. It was hard, and I had this kind of displacement thing about where I fit in and whether I fit in and was I doing the right thing. And people were very smart, or they appeared really smart. They were very confident. And I didn't feel like I was very out there.
Yeah. Do you think anyone else thought that?
Probably. They probably thought I could. I hid my light under a bushel, as they say. I think people would have liked me to have been more vocal and confident. Yeah. But then after my mum died and I went back there and I started doing this other work, I think I was much more confident.
Yeah.
By then also something had happened in my life. Now I think about it, I'd got into yoga, meditation in a big way because my mother had also got into it, and it had helped her a lot through her sickness. And that just completely changed my whole way of being, my way of feeling, my way of expressing, my whole kind of what was real, what was not real, what was important, who cares about what you say. Things changed a lot.
And how did you get into that? Like, do you remember the first?
Yeah, no, it was very much because, again, I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed. My whole family are into meditation and yoga, and there was an aunt, distant aunt, who had been into it in the 80s. And then my dad's brother's wife was very into it. And when I remember when I had insomnia at school, at university and stuff, and I was just stressed about exams and stuff, she sent me a picture of the meditation teacher, and I remember getting it and thinking, oh, I don't know, this isn't right, this is a bit weird, and hiding it or something. But it came back to me. It came back. I mean, I went to it. It just, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be.